Alright, guys. Happy official 4th of July. I didn't bring my earbuds or my microphone or anything that would help for me to record. So I'm gonna try and record while I'm driving. We'll see. I don't think I have much to say. I finished recording July 3rd's episode around 10 something p.m., a little after 10 p.m. And yeah, a little after 10 p.m. And so all I've done so far is sleep. Wake up early, sleep in a little longer, then get up. I'm running some errands. It's like 10:45 a.m. So I'm just trying to make sure everything's good. You know? I'm probably gonna pop over to the beach. I don't know. I went to the store first, and I have ice cream in the car with me, but I'm in a I have a temperature-proof bag, but it's not like 100%, but it's better than nothing. But the zipper doesn't work, so I'm kind of gonna just push it down, I guess, a little bit, and hope it retains the temperature long enough. I was gonna head to the beach because it's so beautiful out, but I don't really know for sure. Feeling a little out of it because I haven't eaten yet. I'm just kind of working on it today, guys. Yeah, so I guess we'll see. But yeah, I wanna go to the beach before it gets too crowded. It's gonna get crowded because I think there's probably a fireworks show there, and even if there's not that going on tonight, people are probably gonna go to the beach because they're off and it's sunny. And that's just how it goes. It's summer, it's July, it's sunny, people are off work, people want to go to the beach. I mean, that's what we do out this way. So I try to stay away from the beach when everybody's there, and I try to go during the hours before people try to get there. So usually people are trying to get there around lunch. Last night before, I think it was this morning actually. I woke up to listen to some helpful psychological and philosophical thought. I was listening to this Jim Carrey interview, or this compilation of his interviews. It seemed to be kind of based on a lot of, somebody mentioned Eckhart Tolle, so I think a lot of what he was saying was possibly based on Eckhart Tolle's explanations of things, philosophical approaches to life. I don't know what you want to call it. But okay. If we look at what it is, let me see. So Eckhart Tolle, it says he's a German-born spiritual teacher and self-help author. The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment, A New Earth, Awakening Your Life's Purpose. He has a lot of cool stuff to say. And I never really listened to much of what Jim Carrey said, but I'm not against him. I guess the clickbait title got me, was something about calling him crazy or something. And he was acting odd. He's a character though, and you know, like, he's an actor. Like, I don't take that kind of thing too seriously. Like, I think to call somebody crazy is a little far. It's taking a little far sometimes, but I don't know if I would label him as crazy, like, but also I don't know him like that. I don't follow his work too closely like that. So yeah, but yeah, he was saying some really interesting things. Alright, y'all, it's back to our adventure. I think I'm gonna turn off the air. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Sorry if you can't. I didn't expect to record. I was kind of in a weird mood. I was like, I don't want to record. I'm just gonna go to the store and then come back home. And now that I'm out, I'm like, dude, I showered, I got out of the house. Let me go do a little something. Once it gets trafficky and busy out, I'll head back home. Or once I need the bathroom. Or once it seems like it's been so long that the ice cream might be melting. I got these, what are they called? These, bars. They're, like, you know how they have those dipped ice cream bars? So, it's vanilla ice cream dipped in almond milk ice cream. Well, vanilla almond milk ice cream dipped in milk. I think it's milk chocolate with some kind of like crushed almonds or something like that. I don't know which one I got. I think I got the mocha fudge. I don't know which one it is, honestly. But those are good. I like them. I don't remember who makes it. I think the company starts with a D. But they're pretty good. I like them. They're pretty delicious. And since I'm a bit lactose, I can eat those easily. We usually have stuff like pizza or like mochi ice cream, or like I put cheese on my you know, burgers or sandwiches or whatever, but it's like, other than that, I don't really eat a lot of dairy products, just because my stomach prefers it if I don't. But I mean, it's not that terrible. Like, it's not that good either, but it's like, it's not that terrible. If I'm gonna be home anyways, like, I wouldn't like eat something like with a lot of milk in it, like cow milk in it, and then go and like try to like have a sleepover at somebody's house, or like go play sports or something. Like, I would, like, out in public, like I would, or like go out to dinner or something. Like, I would usually, it's like that's something I eat at home when I'm nearby the restroom, and I don't have to deal with, you know, just that bit of thinking about maybe I need to you know, stay close to home. So yeah, I don't really tend to do too much like that, but I don't know. So let's see how busy this beach gets. I'm driving the back roads right now, so it's gonna be a little slow going because I got off the highway to make a loop around. But yeah, it's nice to see people out. It's sunny, but it's breezy. It's cool seeing people out. Like, people are just like out taking walks. A lot of people on their bikes, on their you know, running errands. A lot of people, this lady picking up some dog poop while she's walking her dog and her baby. You know, people out on their longboards and stuff. It's people walking around the neighborhood. It's really nice. It's a very nice morning, and it's beautiful out. Like, I don't know, like, it really is beautiful out. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, kind of my favorite time of year, one of my favorite times of year, when it's like clear out. Like, I can't see a cloud in the sky right now. It's blue with a little tinge of pollution brown. The more you look east, and maybe I shouldn't laugh about that. It's not really actually funny. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary because I can visibly see it. Like, as I look like west to east, if I look at the sky, it's blue. Like it changes from a color of blue to another color of blue. And that's kind of gross. Like, but yeah, like, we've had a lot of hazy weather, a lot of gloomy weather. Mornings are kind of gloomy weather. The last few days, it's been really foggy in the mornings. There's a hill in the distance from me, and usually I can see the hill. Yeah, I love this area, man. Like, people out on their bikes without even flip-flops on. They're just, like, barefoot. Man, shout out to all the surfers. I think I'm missing most of the surfers, but maybe some of the late day surfers are coming out. Because there's usually a lot of surfers. Especially this time of year, there's a lot of surfing going on. I feel like it's taking me really long to get where I'm going. Because usually I'm there by now, but we're going like double the distance, guys. So yeah, what I was saying about Eckhart Tolle and, you know, kind of like Jim Carrey, and, you know, just some good food for thought that I heard was mostly how they talk about the ego, and, you know, just about, you know, Jim Carrey made this comment about, like, one of the award shows, like, this doesn't matter, this isn't real, like, you know, like, and they were talking about, like, icons. He was like asking, like, I guess a controversial question, like, why are we even doing this, you know, like, it's not real, like, everyone's there, like, to celebrate and stuff, but it's like, it's not real. And then the lady interviewing him is like, oh, like, you're an icon, like, this is like, it's to celebrate icons and their creativity and all their contributions and things like that. And he was just kind of like, well, I don't really exist, like, I'm not really, you know, me or whatever, like, you know, like, kind of like, he's not Jim Carrey the character, you know. And then also it's like, you know, I guess it's like the deconstruction of the self. Like, a lot of times we do tend to think about ourselves in a very I'll put myself, for example, I tend to think about myself like the center of the universe sometimes. Like, not really, I'd say in a narcissistic way, not so much like trying to take over other people, not like in that sense, but more so, you know, just, I try to acknowledge that, you know, sometimes, you know, people want to take over other people, you know, people want to manipulate other people. I feel one of my bigger struggles is with my own mind, you know, and I don't know, I'm sorry, I just have to say, I love this time of year, just watching people walk across the street and stuff, like, just people barefoot, like, it's not like a foot fetish thing, I'm just saying, like, it's just California, you know. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, it's just like, I don't know, like, I feel like the weather throws me off when we're having gloomy weather, and it's like, it just doesn't feel like the city normally feels, you know. It doesn't feel like a beach city. And then something clicks a certain time of year, I think usually once the high school graduations are out of the way, and then July hits, and now it's like officially 4th of July. I feel like that's like the kickoff to the summer. and you start seeing more barbecues and people out on weekdays, and just like the excitement just of being able to chill in the perfect weather before it gets too hot. And you know, it's beautiful, you know. Like I don't know, I feel like I'm indoors way too much. I've gotten out of the habit of getting over to the beach. As you guys have probably noticed, I haven't really been talking about it much, and I did mention the other day that I was just kind of realizing, like, dang, oh, that's not a good sound. I don't know what that sound was. I think something fell off of the side of my car. Oh, jeez. I don't know what that sound was, guys. Dang, man, my coffee shop has parking, though. Dang. I haven't been there in a while, either. But it has parking. There's parking all around this area, so that's promising. I just hope it's not too crowded. But yeah, I guess I just had to mention that. Like, it's just something that's on my mind that I'm noticing. But I guess one of my main the main thing, I don't know how to explain this because I've never tried to explain it, okay? So please bear with me. I feel like my brain thinks it's the center of the universe sometimes. So it's like, protect at all costs, like make sure you're, you know, like everything's perfect, you know, like it kind of stresses me out, and I find myself deeply in my head sometimes, but not in a positive space. It's like I'm deeply in my head in a negative space, and it's just annoying because it's like, well, I don't need to be in this negative headspace. Like, I don't need to be in this negative headspace. Like, why am I, you know, thinking so negatively? You know, why do I have so much like negative stuff on my mind? I'm not even gonna go to the lot, guys. Why do I have so much negative stuff on my mind? You know, like, what is going on with me? Like, sometimes I'm really thinking like that. Like it's really hard to make for sure I'm just like thinking clearly, you know? It's like I'll get in my head about something that does not matter. I'll get in my head about something that's just like outrageously unimportant, and you know, it'll just drain my energy, and I'll allow it, you know. I'll entertain the thoughts and everything too. I'll allow it, and I'll entertain the thoughts. And so it's something that's, you know, a struggle to try to get out of, to try to shut off. Oh, there's a little street fair here. It's hard to kind of shut that part of my brain off and be like, look, dude, like, stop, you know, like, and there are things that help me to kind of put things into perspective. Like, I've noticed, like, you know, having some, like, you know, consuming, like, content that you know, I can really vibe with, like, you know, particularly content that has to do with my own diversity levels, you know. So I definitely like consuming LGBT content just because it feels like, okay, like there's people out there that have thoughts and experiences like mine. First, that's usually like one of the easier go-tos, is like just find some representation of something that's like people that are like me overcoming some kind of thing. One thing that I do find a little bit challenging is, you know, a lot of these narratives about, like, you know, the narratives that aren't written by the people, you know what I mean? It's like, I might end up going home, guys. There's no parking. Yeah, there's no parking. I'm gonna go down maybe an extra block or two. I'm going way out of the way. This is like a whole other beach now. I'm not even at the local beach, but dang, that's a spot. in the shade, that would be nice. Dang, this parking sucks. This is terrible parking, guys. I'm not even at my beach anymore. I'm somewhere else now. I'm just gonna head back. I don't like this area because it doesn't feel right. I'm a little bit particular, guys. I like my beach. But yeah, I'll come back maybe tomorrow. When people aren't hogging all the parking. I could pay $7 parking. It might actually be more than $7 today. I don't know. I don't want to find out. But I got ice cream in the car melting too. So, but yeah, like I'm finding it a little challenging. I find it a little bit challenging sometimes to like find myself represented, to kind of get myself out of my head. I mean, it really doesn't have to be based on like somebody else, like getting myself out of my head for someone else or anything like that, or to like focus on somebody else or what someone else is doing or what they're saying. But I do notice, you know, like I do spend a lot of time in my brain, and then sometimes it's just not a pleasant experience, and I'm just like, dude, like, you know, like it doesn't need to be this hard, but it's like sometimes it's not fun. I'm like, dude, sometimes I'm not having fun, you know. And that's something to be aware of, because I'm like, dude, like, especially if I didn't have any like you know, outright bad experiences, you know, like if I didn't have like a negative experience, it's like, well, why am I feeling bad, you know, or why am I in my head about this? So lately my focus has been trying to get into my body, out of my mind, because I know I'm overthinking. I just think. And, you know, this morning I was taking a shower and I started feeling a little negative about something, you know. There was a little bit of like a shot to the ego somewhat, that I was just like, like, how could I ask this person to like help me with this thing? I should have just not, you know, engaged with them about it, because it was already a point of anxiety to me, that I was like, well, there's somebody who was kind of like trying to help me with something, and I was like, I can figure it out if I make other decisions, you know, if I cancel some stuff on my to-do list and, you know, make it so I don't have to go out of my way, then, you know, it won't really be a big deal, and I'll be able to kind of get certain stuff done, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? It's like there's stuff that I'm trying to, you know, there's a lot of police. There's stuff that I'm trying to, you know, deal with, I guess, and you know, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't even know. See, it's stuff like that where it's like, even trying to like recall the actual situation. I mean, yes, I'm driving, so I'm slightly distracted, but it's like my head just kind of like veers off into some other direction. So basically, I was, like I said, like there's someone who's kind of offered to help me with something that I would rather do myself, even though me doing it myself is going to be a lot harder, and take a lot longer than if this other person could help me do whatever it was. So the other day they kind of offered to help me, and I was kind of like, I don't know, I kind of feel more comfortable, more confident in myself just to do it by myself, you know. And then, you know, I sat on it through the weekend, because I think this conversation was happening like Friday, Saturday. I was like, I'll think about it through the weekend. So then, you know, yesterday, I kind of told my mom last night of the decision. She didn't really respond. And then, you know, I told my dad. He didn't really respond. So that kind of got me feeling a little bit like, okay, well, maybe they're kind of like judging me about this now. And I don't really know. Like they're not really too heavy texters, but kind of they are. So it's kind of like, I don't really know. But, you know, it's all in my own head. It's like, well, somebody offered to help me with something, and they didn't have to help me, but they offered to do it, and then I told them that maybe I'll accept it, and it's not something that can't get repaid or anything like that. Like, I could always repay the favor, but it's like, it's gonna take me a bit, and so, because I've got a lot of stuff going on the next few weekends, and so I'm either not gonna be in town, or I'm not gonna be, like, available, and so, yeah, like, just stuff like that, where I'm like, my head, I started getting in my head about it, like, like, I shouldn't have asked these people, or told that person that yes, okay, I've made the decision that they could help me out with it, or whatever, and just kind of, like, how I felt about it, I was just like, you know, it brought up some insecurities, I guess, and I was just like, you know, like, I was in my head about it, and I was like, man, like, just enjoy the shower, it's nice, you know, I'm, like, looking out the window, it looks beautiful outside, you know, the weather is perfect, it's, like, breezy coming into the bathroom, and, you know, it's a nice day out, and I'm, like, the water feels nice, like, we got our hot water, I think I've explained this, we don't get, like, cold water in our shower, we get, like, lukewarm water and burning hot water, like, that's the range. We don't get cold. The only time it's cold is when it's, not, it gets cold when it's not warm, like, you know, when you first turn it on, it's cold, but then once it warms up, it never gets cold again, until the whole thing kind of cools off. So, yeah, I was kind of dealing with that this morning, and kind of just, like, I had to, like, focus, and it was kind of easier in the shower to kind of focus on, like, my body and things like that, because I'm like, well, I have water, like, hitting my body, so I can, like, feel that, and, like, you know, like, when it's hot, you know, how you breathe differently when there's, like, steam in the shower, so I could, like, notice that, and there were, like, little things like that, where I was like, just enjoy yourself where you're at, and with your senses, and, like, get the heck out of your head about this stupid thing, and especially because whatever it was that I was thinking about, like, it's not based in, like, an actual experience, it's based in what I'm perceiving in my mind, and it's like, well, at the end of the day, you know, I don't have to be involved with anybody, and I do find myself doing that a lot too, you know, being very, you know, isolating, you know, mostly because it's kind of protective in some ways. It's like, well, I can't be disappointed by people, and I can't get in my head about what this person meant, or what this person said, and why they said it that way, and all this kind of stuff. Even when people aren't, like, actively being mean to me, it's like, that's just how my head is lately. It's just like, I'm kind of, like, not suspicious of everyone, but there are particular people that I notice myself being like, okay, like, you know, I don't really know if I fully trust them, in all honesty, so I'm kind of keeping my distance, and, you know, my mind is always going to this, like, negative, oh, like, this person, like, means the worst, or, like, they must have been talking about me on the phone, which is why they made that comment, and, like, it just, you know, there's multiple ways where I start pointing to, like, oh, this isn't a safe space kind of thing, where I'm like, I don't know if that's accurate, though, like, I don't know if that's an accurate interpretation. It's just kind of where my head is kind of, like, thinking about it, so it's kind of a lot, you know, to be dealing with. Like, overall, it's like, I'm not completely hindered by it, like, I still, you know, get out and do stuff, but I'm most comfortable, like I've said, like, I'm most comfortable just, like, chilling in my room by myself, but it's this kind of stuff, you know, just, like, deconstructing it, and kind of just being like, what's really going on here, like, you know, there's some people I don't really trust, and I don't really want them involved in my life, and they're trying to get more involved than I want them to be, there's something about certain things about me where certain people, I don't want them to know about any of the flaws in my life. Even though they know about them, I don't really want them to know. Like, because, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they say to people. They're around a lot of people that I know that I don't trust. And so I'm kind of like, that's kind of where a lot of it is coming from. And then trying to introduce new people that I haven't vetted these people. So it's like, just because they're family and they want to engage, I don't know them. So I have a lot of family that I don't really actually know. Like, I know the name. I can maybe pick them out in the picture, but I don't really know them. And so, it takes me a while. I'm not just going to be like, oh, yeah, like, come on over. Like, we're just going to be, like, best buds right away. Like, I'm a little bit particular, and I like to kind of, take my time getting to know people. I'm a little bit cautious. But yeah, I think, okay, it's been about 30 minutes that we've been driving around. I'm gonna go eat some lunch and find some way to kind of chill. And a lot of this has to do to, like, a lot of the way I think often kind of has to do with, like, simple things like blood sugar. Like, if I haven't eaten, I'm going to be thinking all kinds of weird ways. I'm going to be grumpy, irritable, there's a lot of things that contribute. And, staying isolated doesn't necessarily help. Staying in the house doesn't necessarily help at all. I think staying in the house is one of the harder things for me. That really doesn't help me at all. But I'll see how things go. I might actually get out. If I get that bored today or restless, I might get out again and do some food deliveries. I'll see. I don't know yet. And then, yeah, I need to get my freaking car sold. So I think I'm going to get that sold. I wanted someone to come pick it up Thursday. So I'm just going to sell it at one of those quick sell places and get it done. But the weekend is quickly approaching. We shall see what comes of it. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a good holiday. Hopefully that's not too heavy. I don't know. Sometimes I can't tell. I'm like, I like to talk about the things I'm working on, but it's like I don't really have it all figured out. And I don't know if that's like triggering the people. I hope it's not. I hope it's more hopeful and motivational, but I don't know. Maybe the way I'm talking about it is not helpful. I don't really know. It helps me to kind of try to dissect things a bit. Audio journal type of things and just journaling in general really helps me, but I don't really know. Maybe you didn't tune in for this today, but and I gotta set up a job interview. It's not really for a job that I am like dying to have, but if the pay is right, I might be a little motivated for the pay, especially if the environment. All I really need is good pay and a decent environment and a job that's not like too incredibly boring. Like, I want to be able to learn, have fun, do something that's not like sleazy work. And sleazy as in, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think OnlyFans and that kind of stuff is sleazy. I think, like, I don't want to be like scamming people is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want to be doing some manipulative, like, multi-level marketing pyramid type thing, Ponzi scheme, nothing like that. I want to just work, like honest work. But yeah, I'm gonna jump on some of these applications, and either today or tomorrow, and get my car kind of, see if somebody can come and get it. Alright guys, but that's kind of all I have to say for right now. I'm gonna get on with it. Thanks for listening.